You're listening to the Pelicans Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Perfect. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. Ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. We stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and you best show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's something, don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always said, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumper where the dame late, punch a train. Post game, big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the ref just might call a tag. You could double, you could press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostep. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever, Pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never, and never say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly down, I'm a Pelican forever, Pelican forever.
I mean, honestly, they just punked us all night, just across the board, especially on the defensive side, the rebounding side, in transition on defense. And, you know, I'm included. I'm in that too. Our approach to the game was poor.
See it trending that way early on. It's other rules. Things got away in the third and fourth. It seemed to be going that way all night.
Well, we, called some timeouts, talked to our guys about our sense of urgency, but tonight is a night that we didn't bring it. This is what it was, and that's what I told them. We didn't bring it. Our approach was poor, and
Facts.
We have to make a commitment that every game we're gonna step on the floor and attack. We didn't do it tonight.
This is one of those better things when you play the next time. I know it's a road home back-to-back. It's not an ideal situation, but being able to get back on the floor so quickly.
Yeah, you would like to. When you have a game like this, you want to get on the floor as soon as you can and try to shake that funk off. But we got another good team coming in tomorrow night, so it doesn't get any easier. Teams won't feel sorry for us, but we have to have more of a better approach when we're looking forward to games.
Just on the offensive side, you had 17 assists against the team the other night. You did get that up to 29. It seemed there was a little bit, slightly bit better flow offensively tonight.
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily our offense. It was just taking pride on the defensive side of the ball. Communication, having a level of physicality and toughness, and we lacked it across the board with those guys. And like I said, they were the tougher team.
He ain't lying.
Coach, also you had 7 players couldn't make it for today's game. They were injured. What do you think? Did they affect today's result?
We've been dealing with that all season, and that's out of my control. What is in our control is that we can step on the floor and collectively as a group have a better commitment to playing better.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks, Coach.
All right, shout out to the fam. Appreciate you, each and every last one of y'all, for being on the stream. Much love to the fam. For all things Pelicans, you're now tuned into the Pelican Postgame Report, man. The Pelicans absolutely eviscerated, annihilated, destroyed, knocked off, whatever you want to call it. That's what the hell happened to the Pelicans. Again, another pathetic and ridiculous trash outing by our, could we call him a head coach? Willie Green. That's supposed to be his side of the ball. Defense is supposed to be Willie Green's sticking point. But all he seems to do is just, I don't know. Pelicans was definitely punked. But what else is new? The Pelicans are a 17-47 win team. 17-47. That's incredibly ridiculous. This is by far the worst season of Pelican basketball and I've been a part of a bunch of stinkers, man. But this one here takes the ratchet cake. All right, big ups to y'all. Appreciate y'all being in the stream. For the faithful and the dedicated, Michael, thank you for the super chat. So I still say 21 wins, Big Q. Do you disagree? Hey, bro, listen, we got 19 games remaining. I'm gonna have to agree with you on that, brother.
I want to say thank you very much. Picking me up, bringing me back to this world.
Oh, Willie Green, bro, you got to get fired after this. But once again, we got trash leadership running the team. What do a guy has to do to get fired? What do you got to do? You know, what the hell does he got to do to get fired? But anyway, man, let's get into some of these stats, man. As well, big ups to you guys. Appreciate you being in the live. Not much to talk about this one. Now, I will open up the phone lines, man, to the family members tonight, see what y'all got to say. But this is ridiculous. But anyway, let's hit the stats up once again. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate that super chat, buddy. Appreciate you on that one. But yeah, the Pelicans stink, man. You know, I mean, it's the defensive effort tonight, the layup line they had going on. Thompson just cutting out of his control, just moving off ball. Pelicans not communicating. And that's nothing new. They did that pretty much all season long. And I don't know. It's just you see the stink and the funk of that. Willie Green is supposed to be a defensive guy. So I don't know. Anyway, 48 of 99 the Pelicans were tonight. 48.5% shooting from the field. They were 12 of 33 from downtown for 36.4%. Free throws, not happening. 9 of 16 for 56.3%. The Rockets were 55 of 99 for 55.6. They hit 17 of 40 for 42.5%. And they were 19 of 21 from the foul line for 90.5%. They out-rebounded the Pelicans 48 to 44. They out-assisted the Pelicans 32 to 29. They out-stole the Pelicans 9 to 7. Out-blocked the Pelicans 7 to 4. Pelicans had more turnovers, 14 with 14 points given up versus 11 by the Rockets with only 13 points given up. Rockets beat the Pelicans in fast break points 24 to 18 and beat them in points in the paint 72 to 70. They beat the Pelicans any way you could beat the Pelicans. They won every quarter, and this was one of the situations where Pelicans never had the lead. These people were up by as much as about 35 or 37 points in this game, and it was a wire-to-wire smackdown on the Pelicans' sorry ass tonight. So what else is new, right? And, of course, we go to the individual statistics on that side of the floor. 20 points for Zion. He led all efforts by the Pelicans in 28 minutes. He finished with 20 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds, 2 steals. And how the hell you go minus 37? But it did. Minus 37 tonight by Zion in 28 minutes of action. 17 points by CJ McCollum in 28 minutes to go along with 5 rebounds, a couple of assists. You had 17 off the bench from Jose Alvarado in 23 minutes, 7 of 16 from the field, 2 of 7 from downtown. He had 7 assists to go along with 4 rebounds. Then, of course, 14 from Eves tonight with 4 assists and 6 rebounds. He had 28 minutes in the game, 13 points put up as well by Jordan Hawkins in 28 minutes. He was 4 of 9 from downtown. He finished that way. Then it was also 13 from Trey Murphy, who struggled in the game. Off of 12 shots, he was 6 of 12, 50%, but 0 for 4 from downtown. Finished with 13 points, 5 boards, and 2 assists on the night for him. 11 from Karlo Mekovic in 23 minutes of action to go along with 7 rebounds and a steal. And Kelly Olynyk, who putting up some good performances, didn't do a damn thing in terms of points tonight. He had 0 points. He was 0 for 5 from the field, 0 for 1 from downtown in 22 minutes of action. 6 assists, 6 boards, no points for him tonight. And Bruce Brown did not play. He was DNP'd due to return to competition reconditioning. So that usually means that's something that we have never seen, that designation, except when they started recently using that for Zion Williamson. I am not familiar with that outside of it being a Zion Williamson style thing that they usually use. But you're seeing Brown with his cowboy hat and all that kind of stuff on the sideline. But we could have definitely used Brown and Kelly scoring tonight, but it wouldn't make a difference, man. They just got handled. They got blew out. They got smacked down however you want to phrase it, the Pelicans, they this guy and Willie said they got punked, but he was sitting up there most of the time, not saying, just twirling his finger like he loves to do. He twirls the finger and tell him hurry up and go faster and make mistakes fast. What do a guy got to do to get fired from the Pelicans? I mean, what do you got to do? What do he got to do to get fired? What does he got to do? Willie Green is a trash head coach. He needs to be fired. And I don't understand what you got to do as a coach to get fired from down here. I mean, sheesh. But anyway, the next matchup is this one here. It's a back-to-back. And so, of course, the Sunday matchup will not feature Zion Williamson. He will not be in this game because the Pelicans do not play Zion on back-to-back, so he will not be available for the Memphis Grizzlies matchup. That will be the same time on Sunday. The Pelicans come home for 3 games a homestand to start off with the Memphis Grizzlies, who are 39-24. These teams are in the playoff stretch. With 19 games left to remain, this whole situation is, they need to pick up a win on a trifling, dysfunctional Pelican team. Memphis is looking for their 40th win of the season, so it's going to be a different thing altogether when it comes down to it. They did, and as you see, they beat a very injury-prone Mavericks club. Prior to that, they were on quite the losing streak, but man, I tell you what. They're back. Jai's there. Desmond Bain and those guys are there. Now, Jaren Jackson Jr. might not be available for this game. Edie will be there, but they have more than enough pieces or players in place. Well, we don't know. I don't know if he'll be available for the matchup tomorrow. We're going to have to wait and see if Jaren Jackson Jr. will be back. He's dealing with an ankle issue. So will he be available for Sunday's matchup? Is yet to be determined. But with that being said, you got Luke Kennard, who's doubtful, and a few players they have there, but G.G. Jackson, Vince Williams to go along with Bain and all these other guys should be available for the matchup against Memphis. So, like I said, it'll be an interesting another game. It's probably going to be a loss for the Pelicans, to be honest with you, because I don't see them beating the Memphis Grizzlies. I really don't see them beating the Grizzlies without Zion. I mean, without Zion's contribution. It'll be incredibly difficult for them to do that. As you can see, that old matchup indicator agrees with me. It's over 61%. So that is this is crazy, man. That we have to, like I said, it's a trash season for the Pelicans as they're looking at the lottery and hoping that they can get some help in the lottery to kind of to do his craziest shit in the world. Just being a recent history person about what the Pelicans were talking about when the season was starting, about him having all of these players and the DeJounte Murrays, and Pelicans had one player they needed a floor general to kind of galvanize the team and move forward. None of that truly materialized, and then of course, the Pelicans will then pivot to the reason why it didn't happen was because of injuries. But listen, you can't say that every year. Sooner or later, the clock runs out on the bastard that's saying the injury situation, period. Then it becomes the fact that you can't field a team healthy enough to compete or change factors around the team to make the environment more healthy. Because if you seeing this going on, obviously we can pivot or create a stratagem where we can be able to at least try to cut these injuries down or create a pipeline where we continue to bring players in so we can remain competitive. But like tonight, and this is one of the games tonight that, ultimately I want a lot of the faithful to remember, because what happens is we forget, not all of us, but a great deal of the people forget that these are the type of games where the Pelicans don't show up. I mean, did you see this game tonight? I mean, did you see all of the sorry ass defensive play that was going on? Guys not knowing who they were supposed to be guarding, cutting to the basket, all this kind of stuff. It was simple. The 3-point shots not fighting through, all of the craziness and the stink and the dumbness that the Pelicans represent. It's not all just injuries. It is poor coaching. We see it night after night. Responsible is poor coaching. They always blame the injury. The injury monster, the injury creature is the creature that can't fight back. They all blame injuries for everything going on. They never blame poor coaching, which is the main culprit of what happens, especially with the Pelicans this season. Because many of these games, you guys know, the Pelicans had enough personnel to win games. What is their excuse for tonight? Hold on just a second, fam. I wanted to share this article with you guys because y'all, if y'all didn't know this, and I'm opening up the phone lines and bring you guys in tonight because it's really nothing to talk about in terms of what the Pelicans did. They're just an awful team. But let me just bring this in here. And this is something right here. And I know you guys probably heard of because this is what the Pelicans who try to pivot to this. But y'all heard this stuff about with DeMarcus Cousins. It's told Cooper Flagg to choose Duke, to stand Duke an extra year to avoid playing for the Pelicans. This is what DeMarcus Cousins told him. DeMarcus had some advice for Cooper Flagg when it comes down to New Orleans. He says, choose another year in college instead. Right? That's what he told him. The Pelicans are currently in play for this year's number 1 overall pick in the 2025 NBA draft. The consensus projected top pick is Flagg, the star Duke forward. The main native has averaged almost 20 points, 7.5 rebounds, and 4 assists per game. As of Friday morning, the Pelicans have the 4th highest chance at landing the number 1 pick. Cousins stated, in his opinion, on FanDuel TV, the Run It Back show with Lou Williams, Chandler Parsons, and Michelle Beadle, he said Cooper Flagg go back to Duke or the Utah Jazz. He says, or the Jazz, my brother. With the Pelicans, you'll get lost in the sauce with the Saints. And I don't know how the Saints got going on with it, but he just meshing it all together. But here, let me play it for you, fam. This is I can play here that little audio for you so you can hear it from the horse's mouth. So y'all pull in the chat if y'all can hear what he's saying. Hold on. Let me just...
Cooper Flagg. Go back to Cooper Flagg. Go back to Duke. Go back to Duke. I'm going to go back to Duke or the Jazz, brother. That's
wow, really?
Pelicans, you'll get lost in the sauce with the Saints. Wizards, they don't care. Hornets, we just finished a whole 30-minute segment on them. Utah, hey man, we got the camera guy laughing. Listen, Utah, you'll be a hero. You'll fit right in, brother. I'm seeing Jazz. I'm seeing the Jazz.
So there you go. That's DeMarcus Cousins' voice, literally telling Cooper Flagg not to basically go back and stay in college for another year and avoid the Pelicans, and several other teams. But it hits differently when he talks about the Pelicans being that, he was a member of the Pelicans, so he has some inside baseball on the organization. And I'm playing this to you just because you guys hear it quite often from me about the Pelicans, that they're a laughingstock. That they could the overall thought process of serious basketball folks is that the Pelicans organization is not serious about doing anything. They're not serious about competing for championships. And even though we have a very attractive city for people that want to come down here, it's a moving and shaking city, it ain't exactly, it's better than going to a Utah or some of these other places. No disrespect to the Utah people, but, it's a tourist destination. You got food and everything. You got a lot of stuff that you can do in the region down here in New Orleans. So that is going well for you. That works well for you. The NBA loves New Orleans. But the problem is the organization is ran by stupid people. It's just what it is. They only care about making money. And the only person I really like from the Pelicans, to be quite honest with you, at the highest level is Swin Cash. That's the only person that I really like a lot. Outside of all these other people, I think they're idiots. I think they're delusional, and I think the top scumbag of the group, and really it's just one person, is David Griffin. He's a con man, a shyster. He's a control freak, moron, simpleton who wants credit for everything. He hires weak people around him so he can control and manipulate them. He has serious character issues that I've repeatedly and over time put on this show. And then you have people like DeMarcus Cousins who will kind of throw and put this stuff out here, and other former players that play for the Pelicans will then talk about their experience with the Pelicans. And it's always something like this. So telling the Duke player to stay away, because when the season started, like I was alluding earlier before I got to this, was the fact that this was supposed to be a season in which the Pelicans were supposed to take a step from the 49 wins or whatever it was last year. And they're sitting up here with 17. And then David Griffin, what he did the same time when the Saints had an event going on when they hired Kellen Moore as the head coach, he pops up with a presser the same day. You think that you didn't think that he planned that out? The whole damn time, he had plenty of opportunities, but he came out with a presser the same day the Saints hired the coach. Why? Because he knew he would get the lesser of the press. He didn't want to be the main focal point or the main fulcrum of the news media, so he did it that way. Very sick, but I see what you're doing. You're not really smart. You're just really weakly cunning. But it's just enough for us to peep you out and spread the game out on you. So, like I said, this is the overall consensus in NBA about the Pelicans. They're a joke team. They're not really serious about winning, and they just want to make money. And they had a mitigated goal to ask for a brand new stadium. Like that's supposed to contribute to them winning. So in the end, it's just, will it ever change? Nobody gets punished for anything. You can lose, you can you can have this dumb coach up here with the big nose, not knowing what he's doing, supposed to be fired. And we don't do, and it's justified. So Cousins, he played 65 games with the Pelicans from 2017 to 2018. He once participated in the Mardi Gras parade on the float with former teammate and fellow All-Star Anthony Davis. He hasn't hesitated to discuss the Pelicans on the show this season, as he's advised All-Star forward Zion Williamson to break up with the franchise, to go to a city and a team that will force more discipline on him. He's been saying stuff like this about the players. The Pelicans are 17-47, a large drop off from 49-33. New Orleans entered the season with high expectations by adding former All-Star guard DeJounte Murray from the Hawks. Unfortunately, the story of the season has been injuries, as Murray himself suffered a season-ending ruptured right Achilles tendon. Let's see if this writer writes bad coaching on here. They never do. A pair of reasons for the optimism for the regular season, however, have been the breakout season for Trey Murphy III and Williamson, who's been a reported lowest weight of his NBA career. Isn't that something? Is that really a high point, that Zion Williamson is finally keeping his weight down? Is that what that is? The bar, has the bar been low that much? That is something that was supposed to happen from the get-go, right? That's lowering the bar like a summer gun. We know Trey Murphy would do his thing, because they knew schematically when you drafted Trey Murphy, he fits well with Zion's gravity because he's a shooter. He's more than a shooter now, but he can light it up. So having Zion there to pull people away from him gives him easy and sometimes wide open shots. And it has worked. So Trey Murphy's averaging almost 22 points a game, 5 rebounds, and almost 4 assists, while Zion's averaging 24.6, 7.4 rebounds, and 5 assists. And Zion, of course, he'll be on the minute restriction for the rest of the season. But this is not something you look at as a organization to smile at. But the Pelicans are a team, that are they're a joke. Especially tonight. They got destroyed tonight. They got mopped up. It made no sense for them to lose the game this badly. Just dumb defense, bad. It's just what it's been the entire length of the season. So it's no real big surprise if you're a Pelican person, right? All right. So anyway, yeah. That's right. That nose. That's right, Philly. I've joked Willie about his nose, man. Willie can rub that nose and the damn genie come out that son bitch. But I'm just saying, at the end of the day, man, all we need to focus on is the fact that we got Zion Williamson playing 6 or 7 minutes a quarter. Yeah, it averages basically like 28 minutes a game, so they snatch him out. That's the only thing I see consistently the Pelicans have managed to do, is to keep Zion under 28, 29 minutes. I think tonight, what he did tonight. Yep, he had 28 minutes. That is the most consistent thing that I've seen them do this entire season, outside of losing all the time. Let's throw the losing up in there. All right, Don, what's up, brother? Said I feel Zion, Trey, and Herb is a good core, and Zion never been the guy yet. Give Zion his coach, and he will flourish. Yeah, that's the missing component. Now, we know that the Pelicans are inept. The leadership of the Pelicans are inept. They're stupid, and they're cowards. So we know they're not going to fire David Griffin. We know they don't do any evaluation of these people. These people take on lifetime jobs. They can F up and screw up and reset the team and do all of this stuff and never face any punishment for what they've done over time, which is what you're supposed to do. That's how you keep accountability here. You can't be allowed to screw up and make excuses year after year after year after year. You have to pay for the losses that's going on and not be allowed to brush it under the table, under the banner. If injuries wouldn't have stopped us, we would have won a championship. That can't be allowed. We have to operate on a timeline. You can't give these people clear reign to do whatever they want, whenever they want. You never get him out of here. You'll be stuck with him. And this David Griffin's what, 7 year him being here, and he has a sub 500 record as a general manager. So I mean, at some point, something has to happen. Somebody got to go. You can't let him and Willie Green stay here and say when we get Cooper Flagg, we'll be better. A rookie to compete with these other people when they said this shit last year about we just need these other guys to be here and we'll be fine. Get out of here, man. All right. What's up, Strider? Big ups to you, says Q. I'm not sure where their goal is after the loss. Are they going for lottery or as a piss poor attempt at a play-in tournament? No, it's not. Ain't no none of that, bro. Ain't no play-in tournament. Ain't none of that. The Pelicans are definitely headed for the lottery. You know, they definitely headed that. It's about 19 games left to go in the season. And like I said, it's just horrible, man. Like tonight, they had no competitive fire whatsoever. You know, it was just the defense was bad, but we've seen that over and over again. In many of these losses, the Pelicans just fall apart. And, you know, they just get walked over. In Houston, like if it's a competitive team, it's differences in the coaching. Like if you're a coach, you're supposed to be fired up. Willie Green is beat down, man. He got this raccoon mask on his face. He's beat down. You know, he's beat down. And when games where you're supposed to be mad, he doesn't be mad. He gets beat down. He comes out there and they just punked us and we got to do better with this so sorry look, you know, this so sorriness. And it's like, why are you still here? Why? You know, and it's because of the octopus, that old rotten octopus. So, you know, it's just, they're definitely headed to the lottery. What's up, Milton? Says Q, I can see hardly any improvement in Hawkins from last year. Your take. I mean, from a strength perspective, bro, you're right. He looks the same, doesn't he? Now, he did say he'd been hitting the gym. Aesthetically, he still looks the same. I know Lex talks about him saying, man, he looks, what's the term she uses? She uses the term small, like he looks small. Now, he's 6. What is he? 6? What is 6'5"? 6'5", I think he is. But he still looks like he, you know, what he did in his rookie year. It doesn't look like he bulked up or nothing or whatnot. You know, he still looks the same. But, you know, it's hard to kind of, you know, get a good read on Jordan because, you know, his minutes have to be consistent. He needs those minutes to develop because basically what he is just a spot up shooter. You know, now we've seen him put the ball on the floor, but I don't see how they'll add him. It takes a coach with a philosophy to add. Like, I don't want to say that right now he is not definitely where we think he should be at this point of his development, right? We do understand like he got a little bit more chippier with his defense, just, you know, a little bit better there. Not a lot to brag on. But in the end, what's the philosophy of the team to even get the most out of players? Like you got a Trey Murphy who's learned to, you know, not depend on the 3-ball. Like Trey will put the ball on the floor and cram it on your head. He also take mid-range shots too. So his game is really developed. Jordan Hawkins right now he gets hot at times spotting up and shooting, but outside of that, you know, we've seen him. He just has to continue to develop. But I think, is that more so on him, or it's the fact that what's the philosophy or the mindset of the team to get the best out of these players? You know what I mean? I mean, that's the whole thing with Willie Green. I don't think Willie Green really know how to truly use these players. Matter of fact, I know he don't know how to use these players. Hell, defense is supposed to be Willie's sticking point. How do you explain tonight? They got punked. Get out of here, man. Willie Green needs to be fired. Jay says, Q, this is one of the worst games I ever watched. That was a mountain dunk. Yeah, it was terrible, bro. It's hard to do these shows at times, man, because the basketball is so poor, man. It's one thing to lose, but it's another thing to watch poor basketball, bro, over and over again. And they not fired a guy like Sacramento. They fired Mike Brown. I'm sorry. They fired Mike Brown. I'm trying to get Willie Green out the door, but they fired Mike Brown, right, and turned some stuff around. They fired him, and they were only like 4 games under 500 when they fired him. And we sitting up here with Willie Green. This team's 17-47, man. You don't think for a second that message is getting stale? Thank you, Dinola. Says Pelicans need new ownership. Who knows basketball? Indeed, man. That girl sitting up there, man, she don't know nothing about none of this stuff. And it's when the team start losing, it's the stuff with the Saints, it's the stuff with the Pelicans. And she just sit there and smile. She don't know nothing. She don't know nothing. And the president, the dude that runs the same president is the same dude that run both organizations. He don't know nothing. How you got two people that the 1 and 2 are of the highest of these organizations don't know the sports that they supposed to be over? How do you do that? Then they have this thing when they over rely on the third guy. The same stupid shit they got going on with the Saints, they got going on with this Griffin clown here. Know who checks him? Supposed to be this bloated president we got here sitting up on top of the teams. Supposed to be accountant. He ain't watching none of these people. Milton says Willie Green is a tough as over. Yeah, he's done, man. Overcooked spaghetti. Yes, indeed. That sounds horrible. Yeah, 6'5". Yeah, he is. Yeah. He it's just in mindset or in scheme, like I don't even know what kind of scheme they run, but in principle or thought process, Jordan Hawkins is supposed to work for the Pelicans because he's a shooter and he has Zion, and the idea was to position shooters around Zion Williamson, right? Because of his gravity, which is good in concept, but the Pelicans don't always rely on that. Like the offense don't always flows through who it's supposed to flow through. You see what I'm saying? Like if you watch Houston tonight, even Antonio Daniels mentioned this, how Sengun would get the ball every time down, he would touch the ball. If not their best player, he's probably their best player. He is their best player. Touches the ball every time they go down. And he over there facilitating like he the Joker. Passing to cutters and making plays. Do you see the Pelicans always do that? If the philosophy of the option is Zion and he's the top option for your offense, he don't always touch that ball. Y'all know that. That ball cycles around Zion sitting up there watching the game like me and you watching it. And then CJ McCollum dancing in the corner or something. So, I mean, and the coach and Willie Green sits up there with his arms folded. He got to go. You got to have somebody that comes in and establish the identity of the team. We won't see established winning year after year unless we get a person who can establish the identity of who we are. And once we get that, then you will see growth and we can be able to play behind our idea of who we are. This team doesn't have an identity. They don't. And as long as you have that, you're going to be beat consistently by teams that do. So it's sad. What's up, Stacey? Shout out to you, man. All right. Big ups to y'all, man. We appreciate y'all for being in the stream. Fam, I ain't got nothing to talk about on this one, man. What can I say about the Pelicans getting their ass handed to them by the Houston Rockets today? And Aladdin Lamp Nose Willie gets up there and talk about we got pumped and all that, punked and all that kind of crap. And then they immediately cut the press conference off right after he says, I just don't know what to say anymore about these trifling people, man. I just want them all to just get on a rocket ship and let's just aim that shit at the sun and be done with it. Anyway, we're going to put it in the chat, man. I'm going to give me just a second, fam. I'm going to fire up the link here and send it out to y'all, man. So y'all can pop on there, man, and kind of spit your game on what you think about this team, man, tonight. I know we got a back-to-back matchup. Will be the Memphis game will be tomorrow. We'll do the PPR in, but I was thinking about doing it tomorrow, but why not do it tonight, man? Hell with it. Ain't no reason to sit here and talk about them now. What is it? Four games in a row they done lost? What's the losing streak now? What is the losing streak for the Pelicans right now? No, it's 3 games in a row. 3 games though, the Lakers and both Rockets matchups. Got handled by the Lakers. Rockets, they lost to the Rockets the first time in the Smoothie King Center, got blew out the second time with them, and now they got Memphis without Zion tomorrow. So it could possibly be fastly a 4-game losing streak for the Pelicans. So 21 wins, I agree with you, my friend. That could definitely be 21 wins in 19 games. Y'all can't understand how poor that is, man. That's just insanely poor. Hold on, fam. Let me put the link. We won't be going super long tonight, fam. We're going to get it in there. So that's the link. It's in the chat, fam. Let me pin that sucker right there. All right. I'll pin the link there for the family members there. So if y'all, let's shout out to the family chiming in all over our social media, the Gram, X, LinkedIn, all over, man. Shout out to y'all for being in the stream, man, as well. And we're gonna open up the lines tonight, man. No need to open them up after the Pelicans lose 4 games in a row. Might as well do it while we have 3. Yes, indeed. All right, Big Smoke says Willie Green forgot how to coach. And Willie Green it's like he hit his roof. I mean, he hit the ceiling. He hit it because, in the 4th year, you're supposed to see your coach take a coaching leap, like you've seen with Jamal Mosley and some of these other coaches. The 3rd and 4th year, you see them get comfortable. You see them take a step. And we don't see that with Willie Green. He still looks confused. His timing is still as poor as ever. It's just not working. And he would not be here if you had competent leadership at the VP level. We don't have a competent general manager. We don't even have a GM. We got a guy that's there. I don't know what he does. I don't know. He just gets a free check. I don't know what the guy does. I invite the brother to come on here and explain to the Pale Nation what you do. What the hell do you do? Because you don't behave like any general manager that I know to be. What do you do? What the season is almost over, and this dude hadn't had one press conference by himself. How are you an NBA general manager? You never held a press conference by yourself before. You did an interview early on. This dude does not go. I mean, so he don't even count. It's like the invisible freaking man. The guy doesn't exist. He does not contribute to anything that is going on that is positive. He don't put any answers out there. He don't ask any questions. When the questions are asked about the Pelicans, he points at Green, at what's his face, David Griffin. You can't tell me David Griffin hey man, listen, just be quiet and sit back and don't do no press conferences. Man, you're a general manager, bro. You're supposed to be out there talking to the people, letting them know, hey man, we this is that and the third. Clowns, man. Clowns. This is half-ass crap going on right here. Doing all this madness. So in the end, for 17-47, I'm not trying to throw cold water on the Pelicans, on the flock, on their dreams or whatnot, but you got to understand, the team is not going to just luck up and start winning. There has to be a plan in place, a good plan that's in place that will ultimately lead to winning. And I don't see that happening with Willie Green because he is not he's not an intelligent coach. I'm not, no disrespect to the man, because he got the job, but he's a real smart VP would not have Willie Green as a head coach of his team because he's just not good enough. He's not improving. Like I said, okay, in the 4th year, we're going to give him an opportunity, see if he can improve. And he's not improving as a head coach. He's not. Like, defense is supposed to be a specialty. Why do they still look confused? We got 19 games left in the year. 19. It ain't like we just started off in the first month and they got to figure it out. Fam, we've been going through this shit the entire season. The Pelicans are 17-47. And Willie's supposed to be a defensive coach, but yet you don't get that. These people manhandled the Pelicans, and I expect Memphis to finish them off tomorrow too, especially without Zion. Jan says his name is Black Shield. It's crazy, man, in the end, man. But I like I said, man, I'm just I just don't like it. What's up, Lonnie? Shout out to you, man. TFP says no defense, no coaching. Willie looked like he had been crying, don't know what to think. Yeah, Willie Green is cooked. He's done. He needs to go. David Griffin thinks he's a genius, but he's really the worst GM in sports. David Griffin, it's been exposed. Like he's been exposed. The Cleveland stuff was LeBron telling him what to do. Do you really think that he would have won that championship if it wasn't for LeBron saying, go get this guy, get that guy, get this guy? He's been down here for 7 years, man. I think they got like 2 playoff appearances in the 7 years and a couple of trips to the play-in tournament. You know, that's not what we signed up for a guy that's supposed to be, I got a championship ring. That's LeBron shit. That's LeBron's crap. All right, but yeah, he been found out big time, bro, with the secret contract stuff, tying Willie Green behind the back, and then all that guy we done exposed the hell out that dude. He just a talker. He's just a talker. He a flim flam man, and you can see it, and it's in the stove is hot right now for him. His game has been completely found out right here. He's a flim flam man. All right, Slim says facts. Never the Pels went to the cheapest hire. Yeah, Willie Green, because they had to get rid of Van Gundy. They got rid of Van Gundy, had to settle out with him. They still had all these coaches they had to pay. They didn't want to fire all these coaches. Willie Green elected to take all of these coaches onto his staff just to have the job. He was literally the cheapest coach that they could find among all of the hires because the rest of those coaches said no to that. Jacques Vaughn, the dude that they wanted, said no, I'm not going to do that. I want my own people. Willie said yes, and look what we got. All right, Milt says Griffin was a bad player, and he's a bad GM. I don't think that guy ever played. Did David Griffin play basketball? What college did that dude play for? I thought that guy knows how to dribble a ball. He can talk some crap, spew out a bunch of nonsense. I don't even know if David Griffin ever played any basketball. I don't think he ever played no ball, bro. Y'all gonna have to educate me on that. I never know no David Griffin. I know Adrian Griffin played basketball. That's a different dude altogether. I don't remember that son bitch ever dribbling no basketball or anything. Only thing he ever did was run his mouth. I don't remember him playing no basketball career, having a basketball career. Y'all have to educate me on that. Yeah, I'm looking at some of his resume right here. They saying that he was at a prep school. He went to Arizona. He transferred to Arizona State in order to attempt an internship with Phoenix. He had see, there you go right there. That goes political bullshit right there. He had a degree. He got a bachelor's degree in political science. See what I'm saying? That's why that sounds like that. And he did that back in 95. He started as a tournament director for the Nike Desert Classic pre-draft camp. So he was always been a talker. And then he said later he worked as part of the basketball press informations team. He always been talking or doing something like that. And he interned with Phoenix and spent 17 years there and climbed up the ladder. Yep. Then he became the guy with September of 2010. He was named vice president of basketball operations. So that's a hell of a jump for him to make. But they're saying he was noticed by Jerry Colangelo and then Danny Ainge. And that's how he got his start in the video department, similar to a lot of people. Spent 3 years in the club as a senior vice president of basketball after being named to the position in June of 2007. And then he went to Cleveland and all that kind of nonsense. Then the Pelicans picked him up in April the 17th of 2019. And he's been here ever since. For 7 years, this guy been here, just not performing to the standards that we want. He won a championship in 2016, but we all know that was LeBron's championship because he was telling them what to do. And he said he hated it. I remember the interviews when he said he hated that, listening to LeBron. He couldn't be who he wanted. All right, he was trying to build a basketball court. Got his ass out of there. All right, Milton, it's all right, bro. Yeah, he said he was thinking of another. Yeah, you think about the Adrian Griffin from he played with Dallas and several other teams. Yeah, he a brother. That's okay, bro. All right, but anyway, yes, indeed. Yeah, Slim, that damn raccoon mask. Yeah, there you go. All right, but anyway, man, if y'all want to chime in, man, please hit the link. We'll pop in. If not, then we're gonna have an early stream and we'll get going tomorrow for the matchup against the Memphis Grizzlies. Like I said, I don't know if Jaren Jackson will be in that game. That's just to be determined. He was out during the last game. Will he be ready for this matchup tonight on the back-to-back? Zion obviously won't be playing in that matchup. Bruce Brown probably will be back for the game, and it'll be a difficult game to win because, like we've said, as we get closer to the end of the season with 19 games remaining on the schedule, fam, y'all know, just like I know, that ultimately what end up happening is a lot of the teams the Pelicans are going to play are teams that's in the playoff hunt. And as a team being in the playoff hunt, what occurs is, a lot of these teams look at the Pelicans as an easy out. So this is right now the standings in the Western Conference. You see OKC sitting up there with 52 wins. Wow. That's amazing, bro. 52 wins. The Lakers have won 8 in a row. They're second best in the West. Second best. The Lakers are second best in the West, winning 8 games in a row with Luka. It's just it's almost, we're in the same NBA world, but on 2 different ends of the spectrum. You got OKC kicking tail. The Lakers won 8 straight. Denver's there. Memphis is 4th in the West. So that's who you got. The Lakers, the Pels just got destroyed by the 5th best team in the West, and the Rockets, who are 39-25. And now we take on the 4th best team in the West with the Memphis Grizzlies. Like I said, they had a losing streak going on. They beat injured a banged up Dallas club the other night. So they're good on that. So they'll play against the Pelicans, looking to try to climb and get their 40th win of the season. And of course, you see after Houston, you got Golden State, who's won 3 in a row. So Steph Curry's team 35-28. Then the play-in bracket teams, Minnesota, who won 4 straight, they're 36-29. The Clippers are 34-29. Sacramento, who got rid of their coach, Mike Brown, and are still at 33-29. With Christie running them. And then Dallas right now, like we said, they've lost 4 in a row. They're talking about shutting everybody down. And heard that Jason Kidd was talking about what was going on with the team. But I don't know how they going to shut anything down, to be honest with you, because everybody underneath them is not positioned to do anything. Phoenix is struggling. They've won 3 of the last 10 games. They're 29-34. And they had 3.5 games back of Dallas. And then Portland they've lost 2 in a row. None of these teams, San Antonio got all their injuries with Wemby going down and all that. And then, to talk about the Pelicans. So, the 10th spot is like whoever, wants it. I don't know if Phoenix going to finally get it right, where they'll wake up out of their coma and start playing better. I don't know if they're going to do that. But yeah, that's what it looks like in the West right now. And the Pelicans, man, let me see if I can dial up the Pelicans remaining schedule here, man, for the faithful with 19 games remaining. And the rest of the year, man, it's they got some tough teams they got to play, to be honest with y'all, man. Here it is right here, family. We'll get out on that. Tomorrow, Memphis game. You see there. And then, like I said, the 3-game homestand Sunday, tomorrow against Memphis. We just knew where they're at. The Clippers are also in that running. And then they have a Thursday matchup against the Orlando Magic. And then you see the March the 15th Saturday matchup against the Spurs. Then they got Detroit at home, Spurs away, Detroit at home. Then a 3-game road trip, Minnesota, then Detroit. Then they come home Monday, March the 24th for 3 straight, Philly, Golden State, and Charlotte. Back on the road April the 2nd and the 4th with the Lakers the Clippers and the Lakers. Then they come home for 1 April the 6th against Milwaukee. And then they finish out with 2 road games, Brooklyn on April the 8th, April the 10th is Milwaukee, and 2 home games to close the season. April the 11th against Miami, and then April the 13th against the best team in the West, OKC Thunder. So that is the remaining schedule for the Pels. And some of the people, y'all could put in the chat and tell me how many wins you think the Pelicans going to get with the remaining 19 games that's left on this schedule. How many wins do the Pelicans get of 19? Is it safe to say 5 wins? Would 5 wins be the call for you guys? 5 of 19, which would put us at 22 wins on the season. I don't think the Pelicans win more than 25 games. I think that's my high hat. Like 22 is my 22 games, between 22 and 25 games is what I think the Pelicans will get. I don't think they get above 25. So if it was if there was something saying, hey man, what you think it's gonna be? I said 22 is the low and 25 would be the high. Because you can look at this and see that they got at least five games on that the Pelicans can win on the remaining 15 on the remaining slate, right? There is at least 5 games that the Pelicans could win, right? At least 5 of these. But like I said, we'll see, man. This is just setting the Pelicans are setting the Pelican postgame. It's setting us low, man. Where it's low. It's bad. What's up, Keith? Shout out to you, brother. Says time for some big changes. Indeed, bro. Appreciate you, man. Shout out to my brother Keith, man. Jade says, Q, Willie Green is passed to be this defensive. He says, Willie Green is passed to be this defensive. Will he be a bacon wrap sandwich? That is what he is. And Big Q, where is DC and Lex so we could do this? Yeah, so we could do the secret contract. There you go. Now, hey, listen, Jaden, when you see him again, I want you to tell him that we was on our game tonight. You understand? I want y'all to tell him we got it right that time. We was always like, yeah, Q hit the button on time tonight. That's right, baby. I can't blame the Pelicans, fam. They've been throwing everything off all season. They've been stanking it up. Yeah, it's messing up everything. It's messing up all the energy. Because it's tough to do some of these shows. Fam, they ain't giving us no material to work with tonight. There's no material to work with tonight. What we going to talk about tonight? You know what I'm saying? They ain't giving us nothing to work with. They got destroyed, humiliated. They got, eviscerated. Whatever you want to say of it's on that level, that's what happened to them tonight. They got thoroughly routed and just smacked down by the Rockets tonight. And they just seen the Rockets a couple of days earlier. How do you lose this bad to them? They're not giving us no material here, fam, to talk about. Jade says 2 to 3. Okay. All right. Okay. 2 to 3 wins. Michael says 21 wins. Okay. I would have to say it's somewhere in there. I don't think it's more than 25, but I have to say I could see him winning at least 5 games of the 19 games, which would put us somewhere in there. Like if the high would be 25 games. But like I said, with the lottery system, you don't know where they're going to end up. But like I told y'all, what DeMarcus Cousins said about telling Cooper Flagg to stay in college to avoid the Pelicans drafting him. That's terrible. That's terrible. Brother, do y'all understand how bad that is? Who's telling players to stay away from the Pelicans? That's one thing. But another thing is, if it's a player that came from the Pelicans, a player with star quality, a former, like DeMarcus Cousins was when he played, he was one of the best bigs in the game. You can't take that away from DeMarcus Cousins. He was one of the best bigs in the game. And when he came to the Pelicans, him and AD were a force. So he's respected as far as that. But you'll have guys, whether it's DeMarcus Cousins or Tony Allen or whoever else, just making fun of the Pelicans, telling people to stay away from the Pelicans. DeMarcus Cousins said on 2 other occasions about Zion Williamson, telling him to leave the Pelicans. Man, you need to go and force your way out of there. Telling them that. And these guys are not on an island somewhere. They hear that stuff. People take that back to them. They might say, man, I don't pay attention to that. That's not true. Those guys, a lot of those guys hear that stuff. They hear it. You got to. They're plugged into social media. They have a brand just like everybody else does. So when you hear players telling players in college that are stars and NBA players to tell them, hey, man, stay away from this, that's not a good look. That's not a good look at all. I'm just being honest with y'all. That's not a good look at all. And it's true. The Pelicans are a joke. They're seen as, not just me saying it, the diehards know, the real diehards know. It's not just the look of the Pelicans, and it's not nothing new. This was the thought process in the league with Dale Dempster's running the Pelicans. It was the same thing, and I said it then. The Pelicans are seen as, even though they're a tourist attraction, we got everything going on for us down here in terms of culture, weather, all this kind of stuff. We got it going on. But if you look at what the mindset of the team is, they're not trying. Like, for instance, when Tom Benson bought the team, the process was they wanted to bring they had the original mindset to bring in legitimacy, somebody that can make the Pelicans a legitimate and respected team with their movement. So over time, they had Dale Dempster, and they realized Dale Dempster didn't know what he was doing. So what they did was they didn't want to fire him because they just inept and stupid. So what they did was they just created a position above Dale Dempster, which was the V. That's how you get the vice. I said this before. That's how they got the vice president position they got. Originally, they didn't have a vice president. It was just a general manager. They got the VP job because Tom Benson created it in an attempt to lure Joe Dumars, who had left the Detroit Pistons, as administrator, who is from Northern Louisiana, to lure him in to be the vice president of the Pelicans, which Joe Dumars was like, hey, man, I'm for that. But when they started talking money, Tom Benson said no. Told him no. How do you tell Joe Dumars no? He's a top 50 NBA player in the Hall of Fame. He's won as a player. He's won as an administrator. He obviously knows what he's doing. How do you tell him no on money and then go about doing all this dumb shit that they've been doing over the years, just throwing money away? How do you do that? So they turned, when they did that, once Tom Benson told them no on that, you know what they did? They just gave the job to Dale Demps. So he had two positions. He had the GM and the VP. See, they're not serious. And it started with that, and it never changed. Then they don't do their homework on these people, and they don't hold them to any level of accountability. You can't hire a guy and let him screw up over and over again without penalizing them, and are setting some type of plan where, hey, man, we need to be here at a certain period of time, and we're not there, then you're gone. I'm just letting you know this is the thing you're going to have to do, and put pressure on these people when they come in here so that they take it serious. That's what it's about. It's too easy here for these people. They can make excuses. They can lie. They can hide. They can sign contracts in secret and don't report it 6 months later. They can hold press conferences, not hold press conferences. They don't answer any questions to you about what's going on with the team and all this kind of nonsense. It's just sad. It's sad. And that's David Griffin, because he does not know what he's doing. This is the truth. This is facts. He doesn't know what he's doing. Isn't it obvious? He's been out here for 7 years. You got 2 playoff appearances. And then when you ask him about it, he sits on his ass and blame injuries all the time. That's what they do. Well, if it wasn't for the injuries, we'd have had 2 championships. I don't want to hear all of that foolishness, because not everybody else is also dealing with injuries. How are they able to still do what they do and you fail as much as you've been failing? So, I mean, somebody has to let them know injuries will not be an excuse for you to be either you do the job or you're going to be fired. And there is nobody, and I mean absolutely nobody except for the diehards that's holding this team accountable, that's causing out this the octopus, this scumbag con man VP guy who's running the Pelicans, talking all this flim-flam political crap and telling you generalities and nothing specific, holding press conferences, hiding, this type of stuff. Man, get out of here with that. This is we from New Orleans. We don't play all that old crap down here, man. Yeah, so we're going to try to run you out of here the best way we can, man. But anyway, listen, they're not giving us nothing to work with tonight. And tonight, they just got their ass sanded to them. 149 to 117. Are you kidding? Are you kidding me? You kidding me? 140, fam. How does this even make any lick of sense? How does this make any sense at all? How does this make any sense? How does it make any sense that the Pelicans lost tonight 149 to 117? How does it make any sense? One more time before you leave, get Willie Green to tell you about it.
This all night. Just across the board.
Tell them again, Willie.
Across the board. Especially, honestly, they just punked us all night. Just across the board, especially on the defensive side, the rebounding side, in transition on defense. And, I'm included. I'm in that too.
Yeah, you are.
Our approach to the game was poor.
How tough is that when you see it trending that way early on into other duels? Things got away in the third and fourth. It seemed to be going that way all night. Well,
we, called some timeouts, talked to their guys about our sense of urgency, but tonight is a night that we didn't bring it. Just this is what it was, and that's what I told them. We didn't bring it. Our approach was poor, and we have to make a commitment that every game we're gonna step on the floor and attack. We didn't do it tonight.
That's after the Pelicans losing their 47th game of the year. 17-47. And this is the coach. What do you have to do to get fired? That's the question. I just don't understand. Somebody gonna have to explain it to me. I don't understand how Mike Green got fired. He was 4 losses under 500 early in the year, but Willie Green could be 17-47 right now and still be the head coach of a professional basketball team. I just don't know how that happens. I don't know how it happens. I'm sorry, I don't know. But anyway, that's going to be in, man. Like I said, they haven't given us much to work with, and that's all I got for tonight. So with that being said, listen, man, do me a service. Y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. By all means, feel free to share the show on your social media feed. We will return, man, tomorrow on Sunday afternoon. The Pelicans face off with another top 5 Western Conference forward to be the Memphis Grizzlies, Ja Morant. And remember, Zion will not be in this matchup because Zion will not play back-to-back. So he will be out for this matchup. So we can only imagine what that's going to look like, right? So anyway, boys and goyles, I appreciate y'all for chiming in. Y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm going to see y'all tomorrow. Much love. Go Pels.
You're listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Perfect. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. Ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. We stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and you best, show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's something, don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always said, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumpin' where the dame late, punch a train. Post game, Big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the refs just might call a tag. You could double, you could press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostep. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never, and never say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. That's That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. Remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. Check out the Pro Shop and who that too.